More and more services and products are moving online. Coming up with the idea of what to sell is actually the easy part. It's selling it that can be complicated, at least technically. Where do you start? Well, it really depends on what you're selling, how much you're planning on selling in the future, and the complexity of your product or service. Let's say you have a simple service or product you want to sell. For example, let's say you want to promote and sell a one-time webinar. The first thing you need is a page that holds the details of the service. This is called a landing page or a sales page. This is a page people will get to in order to learn more about the webinar, the host, and any guests. This can also be the page from which they can sign up. The landing page can be a part of your website, but can also be a standalone page. Once your landing page is set up, it's time to collect emails and payments. This is where things usually get a bit complicated. Your landing page has a call to action button, a CTA. This button can be to sign up, to pay, or to learn more. If the purpose of the landing page is to collect email addresses, then the page will have a form to fill in the user's details. But if you're selling a product or service, or as in our example, a webinar, then the CTA should lead users to the checkout. This is the place where they will enter their details and pay. A good user experience will not have the user add their details twice. This is why using a sales processing tool is so important. There are a few options out there. I recommend using ThriveCart. You can create the sales page directly in the app or embed the payment form on your landing page in a different app. You will need to connect the app to a payment processor such as PayPal, Stripe, or a couple of others. Once your user has paid, you want to send them a confirmation email and trigger your email sequence associated with the sale. If your payment processing is integrated with your ESP, then use the payment confirmation as the trigger for the confirmation email. If you're also sending your users an invoice, you can use the invoice email as a confirmation email. And now the fun begins. Send your customers the details they need to get your service. And remember that it's important to keep in touch with your participants. Set a workflow that will send your users an email the day before the webinar and or a few minutes before it starts. Have the email include a link where they can view the webinar, for example, a Zoom link. Ideally, if you can, stream your webinar to YouTube if you don't host your videos yourself. This will save you upload time and is great for tracking views later on. The day after the webinar, send a replay. The link can be to your Zoom account, to your Google Drive, or directly to YouTube. This is also a great time to ask for feedback. This same process can be utilized to sell many products and services. But remember, your audience wants to hear from you. Not just when you want to sell them something, but more often. Building relationships will make your sales process easier.